Everything okay? So Gelson, you have been introduced very shortly. I'll do a more extensive introduction. You are a former professional football player, 16 years, and you played for countries like Switzerland, Italy. I mean, the list is Portugal, Germany, France. You are born in Cape Verde, and you have been appointed Director, Member Association Africa in 2022, but recently, last year, you have been upgraded, promoted to the position of Deputy Chief Member Association Officer. It was in November 2024, and I should add that you have been recently named one of the 100 most influential African in 2024. So you will tell us a lot about FIFA in Africa. First of all, I would like us to discuss about the FIFA Forward program. I think it's the program through which FIFA is not only contributing, but really pushing for the development of football. When it comes to the development of football in Africa, what is FIFA Forward trying to achieve? What are your results? What is the vision?
Thank you, Nicolas. Good afternoon, everyone. I hope you're having a good time here in Rabat. Congratulations to the organizers and to the Moroccan Football Federation for this initiative. It's great. It's my pleasure to be here, Nicolas, to speak about FIFA, about the Forward program in general. You know, the Forward program is the biggest sport development program in the world. Certainly, a few of you in your respective countries, you've seen some work and infrastructure project that we have done. In 2016, when our leadership, our president, was elected as a FIFA president, the donation from FIFA, I would say, was 250,000 a year. Today is up to 1,250,000 a year as well, so you can see the biggest difference. In addition to this, we provide to most of the member association 250,000 for the transport every year, 50,000 for the material, and as well as $3 million for each of the 211 member association for specific forward project. We also give $15 million a year to each of the 6 confederations, and as well as funding for the zonal unions within the confederation. So this is, I would say, we talk about money, about figures, but this is not the most important. We try to develop as well the capacity building of the member association within the member association, because you know we need to increase the level of our administrators as well as competition within the member association. And yeah, Forward is a big engine that we have in-house, but at the member association division, at least, we try to deliver this in a strategic way together with the member association.
So member association is the way you are referring to the federations, really, huh? Just
correct, to a country, yes. Correct.
So when it comes to professionalization of the federation, so you mentioned capacity building. I mean, sport management is a real topic. What are you doing in that respect, like to professionalize the federations?
Look, we have many executive programs. We have many education programs within our organization in different departments. We will launch soon our FIFA campus, which you can call it this as an educational hub for the member association, but for stakeholders in general who wants to be involved into football. For us, it's key to really develop people outside of Europe and to give access to football administration to everyone. Not everyone can play football, or not everyone can become a professional football player, but certainly there is a pathway for sport administrators within the industry. And I'm glad, you know, when I see people here, I observe a little bit, I see the connection they have got. All of them, they have passion for the game, but passion for sport as well. And certainly football is in a driving seat, I would say, and but we need these people to run sport organizations, to run federation, to run private companies that support the federation, that support the league, that support the clubs, that support sport stakeholders. So we're all in the same boat, and these are for the youth and the communities.
And I understand FIFA is also having specific program dedicated to women, to school. Can you tell us more about?
Yes, I mean, I would say I've been raised by my mom, so I was discussing this at lunch. For me, it's important that the women get a place in this world, in this sport world. There are great women out there, great girls that dream to be working in sport, which is a fantastic industry. We have, of course, our Football for School program, where we try to touch as many kids as possible and teach them values within school through football, through sport, which is capital. We have many women's leadership program as well. I do believe that we need to start younger, to touch people at a younger age, and we need the cooperation of governments, Ministry of Education, to be able, within the scholarship curriculum, to really have an impact at a young age through sport, with all the values that sports gives to people.
Can you give us a few examples of what those programs are actually delivering or doing in Africa specifically? Either the women program or the school program, specific countries or case studies, let's say?
In Africa, out of the 54 countries, at the moment we have 40 countries which apply to our program, Football for School. I would say we have, in this moment, 8 to 10 who want or who have already football in the curriculum of school, which means mandatory football activities twice a week within primary school. Not easy to do, not easy to implement. We are ready to finance this as well, together with the government. I speak about the member association, the countries, the federation, but we need the countries as well on board. It's not that we want the football to become political, but we want this to be the responsibilities of everyone. We need this, and when we have government who are responsible and who have the willingness to apply this program, it's great. And in this country, we launched it together with the Moroccan Federation 2 months ago, the Football for School, which will go in every region in Morocco, and we will touch as much possible school and educate the teachers as well with our book, with our application. Application is not everywhere possible in Africa, so we need still to have books available for the kids. And yeah, when you see the eyes of the kids when we launch the program or when we do it, it's very touching, and I would say from this perspective, I have maybe the best job in the world.
Mm-hmm. And so you started at FIFA as the chief member association for Africa, right? Specifically, you were focusing on Africa, but now you have been promoted to a more global position where you give you a more global view on what would you say, coming from Africa and now having that view on worldwide view, what would you say are the specificity of the African continent? Like, the strengths, but also the weakness, the opportunities, the potential.
Look, our biggest opportunities, and I would say our strength, is the youth, the love people have for sport, the energy the African people have, and I would say the passion they have when they do something. Africa is not more complicated than Asia, Oceania, or South America. This is totally wrong. We have challenges, but I also see a lot of opportunities that we can tackle together. Certainly, and this I say as an African, the continent with the most potential when it comes to athlete. This is not something we should hide ourselves. Now to give opportunities to these girls and to these boys, then we need to work hands in hands to make sure that this happen. From my point of view as a regional director from Africa, I could see the impact of instability within countries, but also within, I would say, governments as well, which does not help. A new government come with new policies, with new target, with new objectives. It's not easy. I would say, you know, it's a continent with a lot of resources, a continent that has an historical weakness to work together. But I believe in the future. I'm optimistic, I'm positive, and Africa should be changed by Africans. And this is not a Pan-African discourse or whatsoever, but I believe that within the continent we have enough qualities and enough competence to make a change in the future, and I pledge everyone that wants to support in any, I would say, topic to do.
And can you remind us how many members association are member of FIFA, and what is the percentage of Africa then in terms of countries, you know?
Well, we're very big in terms of our percentage. FIFA has 211 member association, 211 countries which are part of FIFA, and Africa is 54. So, but it's not just the number, it's also the potential, it's also the football love, it's also, I would say, what football can change within the continent, and the smile that you can give and the emotions that you can give to the continent. We will have now for the first time a 9.5 country, 9+1 that will do a playoff against another continent, which will go to the World Cup instead of the number from before, the 5. So it's double more teams, which give double more chances to African member association countries to perform at the World Cup stage. And we should not forget that at the last World Cup, an African national team has been to the semi-final, and I'm pretty much sure that...
Which country was that again?
Morocco.
Okay.
And I believe that, that's me, my personal opinion, that if the flights could have taken off from Casablanca or Rabat to Doha, then it would have been another story. But the Moroccan government, with the willingness of the king, and has done a fantastic job. And you know, the pride that they had, and this power, you cannot take it from any other activity rather than football. And that's the power of football. So we need to use this to move us forward.
So you have been and still are in a unique position to assess the different ways African governments are doing things, and federations, national sports strategy or no, the way they are, the governance, the sport management. I mean, I'm not aware that there are a lot of people which have that opportunity to really have a clear view, understanding of the way football is managed in terms of sport management, the way it is managed also by the government in each 54 country of the continent. You do have that knowledge. So based on what you witness, I don't want you to mention any names of country or whatever, but if you had like 10 minutes with a newly appointed Minister of Sport, let's say, what would be your insight? What would you recommend he do?
When I meet with sport minister or government representatives, the first thing I tell them, I ask them a simple question: what legacy you want to leave? Because the work we do now, I won't witness what me and my team and our team are currently doing. This will be the next people in leadership position that will take the flowers. But I'm not interested about that. I do know that with everyday commitment, you change lives of people. Football changed my life. I come from a little island in West Africa, which is Cape Verde Island. I came, thanks God, to a country, maybe the best country in the world in terms of structure and education, which is Switzerland. And I had all the opportunities. And I do know that a small Gelson in many countries do not have the opportunities that I had. And that's our role. That's the role of the government to give every people, every single talent a chance to make something, not necessarily being a professional footballer, but to make something out of their life and to have hope. So there are different ways of seeing this. One challenge is the stability, as I said, because I meet with a lot of sport ministers, but they don't last very long, most of the time. So I engage, I work on the curriculum for school, maybe they give me some grounds to build a new technical center. We have an agreement for funding into sport infrastructure or for a new competition, but then certainly they're gone, and then I have to restart again. So I have to go back again in the country, or I have to invite them again. All these has costs, has time. So we do need government. This is clear. We need strong federation. We need federation with stability and with vision. And our vision is to support. Our vision is not to do anything else. Our vision is to support and to do sport development, football development across the continent, but across the world.
So I was mentioning when I introduced you that you have recently been named among the 100 most influential African for 2024. And I guess one of the reasons is because, well, you are, as we speak, and you were mentioning your background, etc., the most influential African in the hierarchy of FIFA as we speak, and you mentioned you're coming from a very small island, which makes you a role model for many. You have a global position at FIFA. How does that make you feel?
Look, I'm very humble about that because I also know that God gave me this opportunity to make a change, or at least to try to make a change, certainly. I'm not scared to work at all. I'm very direct in the way I operate and in the way I exchange. I tell also what I think or what should be done. I believe that in such a big organization, things has to be said or has to be done. I've got the luck to have the ear of the president and the general secretary, to have often exchanges with them about Africa, but about all the continents as well. Our challenges, what we can do, how we can do. We don't do everything right, to be honest. We do mistakes. It happened, but we don't do twice the same mistake. Or we see that always as opportunities to raise the bar higher and higher, and then we are already working for the future. And I try to represent the best way possible Africa and every single black person that or from African origin that is in this room, without thinking I don't know what, because I am not.
You are a role model. That's what it's called. Role model. It's about inspiration. Like a small kid in Cape Verde can look at you and say, "Oh, so then it's possible."
I mean, it's possible. I played 3 World Cups as a player, and I never thought it would have been possible. But for me, it was always I always had dream and of being captain from top 5 league clubs. I mean, for me, it was always how can I say? I was driven by that, by my dreams, by what I could achieve, and every time God gave it to me because I worked hard for it, but because also He could see maybe in my heart that it was for the good faith of it, and it's exactly the same way that I do it now. In every country that I go, we are not in a position where we can joke, where we can really play with kids' opportunities and chances in life. I mean, when we don't do the job properly, with the passion that we need to do the job, there are some girls potentially that would have made a living. Maybe they would have bought a nice house for them family. They would have support communities. They would have played abroad. They would have represented them countries, them continent at high stage. There is enough example, more than me, because there are bigger players, there are bigger sport administrator. Speaking about example, you also an example in the way you did things in your life. There are other examples here, women's and men's in this room. Our responsibility is to give the chance, the opportunities to the next one to be an example.
So FIFA is doing a lot of things to support federation, governments, etc. So again, if I'm a president of a federation, if I'm minister of sport somewhere in Africa, what is the best way to harness, like to actually use what is available? What are the, where should I start, you know?
The first thing that they need to do is bring people together. This is the most important thing. Because federations...
sorry to interrupt you, what would be the stakeholder you have in mind? So people together, like who? Who are we talking about?
Now, if I speak about a federation, for example, even a confederation, no matter what, they need to bring people together to have the same objectives, because it's not individual objectives, right? An association is there to support football in every corner of the country. That's the first thing I would do. That's the first thing I tell them as well. Not always easy, because even there they need to have some kind of unity to make success and also to make progress. Once they have done that, they need a strategy. They need to know where they want to go, and then they need to know how they want to go and at what pace as well. That we can build that together. Proper strategy, and to monitor as well the progress of the strategy. So it's not just we give funding or we would like to give funding. No, we give.
You're actually expecting those governments and the federation to have a strategy, because without a strategy they cannot benefit from what you have to offer.
No, they cannot. They cannot, and also I'm not scared to tell them, look, this is wrong, or we believe this is wrong. You are in charge of the federation. Is your federation. We don't interfere into this matter, but certainly because we see what the others do as well. Exactly. Who does well, who underperform
at a global level for you.
Exactly,
right?
And they are great examples as well.
Right?
Exactly, we have benchmark, but okay, every country has them specificities. Sure. You know, you have different region, different ethnies, different religion, different languages, sometimes in the same country, right? So these are challenges that maybe you don't have in other continents, and that we need to take into consideration. But if you don't have the people together, then it becomes difficult.
So we are the World Football Summit, which is very much about the ecosystem of football, which include like the business aspect of it. There have been panels about infrastructure, etc., etc. What is your view on this? Do you? Okay, I'll be provocative. I mean, is football just for fun?
No, it's not. It's not fun.
But tell me more about that.
It's not fun. It's not joke. It's one absolutely capital catalysator of countries. I would say driving seat. That we should not run away from this. We should take our responsibilities to know, because this is the only sport where you touch people from different age group, from different, as I said, ethnic, girls, boys, men's, women's, and you know, only football can do that. There is no other sport or no other things that can make that happen. And that's our responsibilities, and that's why we need to make sure that we fulfill this.
But football is also a business. Sport is also a business. What can you tell us about the business of football? I mean, the way you look at it, consider it.
It's a big business. A lot of people live directly or indirectly from football within the continent, certainly. It's also a business that we need to protect with integrity, with good governance, and with planification. And that business cannot die, certainly not, because a lot of people take advantage from this business, but we need to protect the game, and we need to make sure that the game is sustainable in every part of the world.
So Africa is providing, not only in football, but is providing the rest of the world with some of the best athletes. You yourself, you are from Cape Verde, but you play for European clubs, etc. What is FIFA official, let's say, stance on this, on the fact that we have many African players playing on, well, outside of Africa? What is the position? Is it the sense of, I mean, does FIFA has a point of view on this?
No, look, first of all, we want to give every African country a chance to be at the highest level. That's why we have more African federations that can qualify for the World Cup. That's the senior level. Now, that's why also we launched a World Cup under 17 for girls and boys every year, because we don't want certain generation to miss out of opportunities as well. And this gives hopes to under 15, under 14, under 13 girls and boys in every country. Of course, we would like that every talent plays home. But this is difficult to do because we have a lot of work to develop the domestic league, to bring it at the level. And as I said, football is not a game. It's a game, but we cannot joke with it. If they are professional and they are making a living out of it, and they have families and communities and cities and villages depending on them, I mean, it's difficult to tell them, look, you can guarantee the future of your family that suffers. Some of them cannot eat properly or cannot not go to school, have a proper education, because you have to play home. We also have to be honest towards this and to provide conditions for the talents to stay, or at least to start, as long as possible.
Thank you, Gelson. We are really almost at the end of our fireside chat. You are the highest member ranking representative of FIFA at the World Football Summit Africa here in Rabat. Does FIFA have a message? Do you have a message for the World Football Summit Africa?
Well, the president has been invited by the Moroccan Football Federation. Unfortunately, he could not attend, and so I'm here as well to represent him. The message is that we try our best every day. The message is that we need all of you, certainly, all of you, directly or indirectly. The people that live from football or live from sport, we need them in the sport industry. Everybody can reach out to us. We're not in somewhere in a bubble where people cannot reach out to us. This is, I think, important to know.
Sure.
And that ideas, suggestions can always be studied, because there are great people out there, and encourage them as well to carry on what they do, to carry on with the same passion. Because when we are in front of the World Cup, which is the biggest sport event in the world, then we all football fan, we all cheer for countries, we all cheer for the best players in the world, and it's our also, I would say, responsibility to make sure that this game carry on to be the way it is and become even bigger. And not everybody tells sport administrators well done, but I would say well done, thank you, and that at the end we're all together in the same boat.
Gelson Fernandes, thank you very much.
My pleasure.